Hi there guys, welcome to another video here. In this analysis, I'm going to be doing a technical analysis of the weekly stock chart for Caterpillar. Caterpillar obviously makes the equipment for farmers. It's a Dow stock. It's one of the most prominent, well-known Dow stocks, I think, and I'm going to do a technical analysis here. Caterpillar came to mind because if you look here, this is the daily chart. So we can see here that the 50-day moving average just broke in that far right square. It broke the 200-day moving average. What does that mean? That is called a golden cross. Tends to be a bullish short-term indicator, but my take of this is that this may be a false breakout for Caterpillar stock, and I'm going to show you why here as we go through the video. We can see here in the short term that there's been a lot of choppy sideways price action in Caterpillar stock. Now the first circle you see there is the first time that 50-day went above the 200-day moving average, and then again false breakout, and then from about May to June of this year, there was a pretty significant decline there, short-term decline in the price. And then what happened? It went up again, and then the second circle you see there is the second time that 50-day went just above the 200-day, and then again another decline. So we can see here the price ran up again from about September up to middle part of September, declined again. So it's just been really choppy here in the short run. So if you're an analyst investor, you see this pop up on your screen. You're wondering, hey, what do I do here? Again, always adhere to your risk risk strategies, and making sure that you set your stop losses and have a exit plan, both on the for profit taking and stop losses. But I think here with Caterpillar, if we look in the short run, it looks it broke out here, and you can see, I mean, for the short-term chart, the resistance there, the high over the last, in 2019, the 52-week high has been about 148.47. So we're right up under there. If that breaks that, maybe that's a buy indicator. But again, I would just be careful with this a bullish indicator stating that the 50-day crossed above the 200-day, just because I think we may be looking at a false breakout, and I'm going to show you why. So I'm going to transition over here to the weekly chart. So here's the weekly chart, and I think that using a longer term chart analysis gives us a better kind of sense of price strength and price movements. And we can see here this goes back to about the middle of 2015. So this is almost 4 years of price action we can see. And you can see the big run up there from about the beginning of 2016, from a price of about 60 all the way up for the next 2 years, up to almost the beginning of 18, January of 2018, where the price hit an all-time high around 170 range. And then from there, over the last 2 years or so, there's just been a slow downward trend in the stock, as exemplified by the red arrow you can see on the top there. And so there's been a sideways kind of downward trend in the Caterpillar stock. kind of a bearish decline, meaning that the stock is making lower highs and lower lows. So you can see here these ovals, that first oval, every time, again from about the beginning of 2018, since we started this kind of bearish downtrend in the stock price, the top, when that stock hits the top of the Bollinger Bands there, which is the top blue line, and again, Bollinger Bands are the two standard deviations from the mean, so it's about 95% of all outcomes for a stock price. So what does it tell you here? That the first one, when it hit that, the first, over the next 4 months, Caterpillar stock declined roughly 18% or so, from about January 18, down to kind of in the first quarter into the second quarter of 2018, and then it happened again about October, so beginning part of Q4 of 2018. Again, the stock price went to the top end of the Bollinger Bands. What happened? There was, a pretty good pullback there, 15-20% over the next 3 months, down to about the beginning of 2019. Which, again, as you know, the latter half of 2018, there was a huge sell-off in the Dow and the markets overall. During the last week of December, towards the last part of December, the Dow had its worst week in 10 years. So you see that the next trend down there, and then it happened again when the stock price hit the upper end of the Bollinger Bands. What is that? About May of 2019, and then again you can see another downward trend in the stock. So what does that mean today? Caterpillar stock just hit the high end of the Bollinger Bands today. So you can see oval number 4, there's a question mark because, obviously you don't know exactly where the price movement's going, and I'm not going to try to predict exactly where it's going because I have no idea. But I would say that, given kind of the analysis here over the last 2 years of price action in Caterpillar stock, it would lead me to believe that there may be a decline coming for Caterpillar stock. So I might look to sell. Maybe if you've got some, look to sell. Maybe if you're into shorting stocks, maybe look at shorting, or buying some put options. But again, always, I always recommend using a very know what your risk levels are, and always allocate your capital accordingly, because I think that there may be a false breakout here with Caterpillar stock, and it's possible that the price could decline. So you see on the bottom window there of the RSI, the Relative Strength Index of Caterpillar stock, it's about 60 right now, so it's kind of been in that range of bouncing between since 2018. It's bounced from 70 down to 30 in November 2018, and then it's kind of just bounced in that range between 70 and 30. So that doesn't tell us too much at this point. I think that but using the Bollinger Bands analysis of the weekly stock chart, I think my guess would be that there may be a pullback coming in the stock price over the next few months in Caterpillar stock, but hard to say exactly. The stock price of CAT closed at 145.31 as of the day of this recording. The last trading day was Friday, November 15th. So it's close to the 52-week high, but far from the weekly high over the last 4.5 years or so. The high of the stock has been around 170. So I think, kind of a bearish, bearish look to the stock chart here on the weeklies. But again, you know, kind of up to you as a trader investor on what you think the best move is. But this isn't a recommendation to buy or sell, just kind of a general analysis of the technicals on Caterpillar stock. So thanks guys for watching. Hope this has been helpful for you, and I look forward to seeing you on a future video.